A drug made by Gilead is being more widely distributed to coronavirus in Washington state than was previously known. CNBC's Meg Tirrell is with us on the phone. Of course, our health reporter. Meg, this to me seems like big news. This treatment from Gilead being given to more patients in Washington state on a compassionate basis. That's the word they use. Tell us what this means tonight.
Yeah, Scott, it struck me today, too, hearing that it has been provided to multiple patients in Washington state. And what compassionate use means is outside of clinical trials, the use of an experimental drug, usually in cases that are very severe, potentially life-threatening, in which these severe COVID-19 infections, that fits that description. And I checked in with the company after we heard the CDC director say this today, and they just got back to me and told me they've actually provided remdesivir on a compassionate use basis to treat several hundred patients with confirmed severe COVID-19 infection in the U.S., Europe, and Japan. So that's more than we potentially knew about. We did know that there were clinical trials ongoing, but we know now that there have been several hundred patients given this drug on that compassionate use basis.
We can only hope that it works. We know that it's in clinical trial at the NIH and over in China as well, and we do expect the results next month. Is that correct?
That's right. So 2 clinical trials were started in China first, and those are probably the first data we're going to get. The company has said by April, and that's what the CDC director also said today. Some analysts expect we may even get an interim look at those data this month. We'll have to stay tuned for that. NIH has started enrolling its own clinical trial, and the company is also starting its own clinical trials as well. So there will be a lot of data. But we're going to have to wait a little bit for it.
And let me lean on your expertise quickly as it relates to the tests for the coronavirus. There was that news conference tonight. Secretary Azar said we'll have the capacity to test 4 million people by the end of the week. Yet Dr. Scott Gottlieb, the former commissioner of the FDA, said we can do 15,000 people a day. Can you put that into context? What's the discrepancy, 15,000 versus 4 million by the end of the week?
Well, it's a really good question. What Scott is tracking through AEI, it's a great resource. They're compiling everything that's known in terms of confirmed online capacity. So that is what seems like a pretty realistic state of play right now for testing capacity. The 4 million we've been hearing about pertains to the number of tests that are being sent out and the capacity throughout the system that they expect. However, as you've pointed out, some of the messaging from the government has been kind of all over the map, including on the testing capacity. So what Gottlieb is tracking through AEI seems to be a more sort of the moment estimate of what is going to be possible. And 15,000 a day, that's pretty big capacity. That's on par with what South Korea is able to do.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. Meg, thank you for calling in. That's our healthcare reporter, Meg Tirrell, with the latest for us tonight.